All right, Star Wars fans, why are you so racist? Huh? Who's out there who says they're in the Star Wars fandom? Why are you so racist? Huh? No, yeah, this is what was talked about today. And of course, there's a interesting reaction to all this because, well, I mean, obviously we got the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and we just, of course, heard that it was the most watched premiere of Disney Plus history, I guess you could say. And one of the biggest gripes that people have is the fact of Reva, the character who is, of course, played by here we go. Her name is Moses Ingram. Ingram. And so, you know, it was just kind of like a lot of people. It had nothing to do with skin color or anything like that. It's just the fact that, yeah, character's not written that well. Hopefully the character gets better. I mean, that was one of my gripes too. I thought even the Grand Inquisitor wasn't that great either. I mean, I thought it was like, okay, we'll see if that gets better. But the villains are pretty weak. But we're still waiting for the ultimate villain that's, you know, going to be showing up, obviously. But yeah, so when it comes to this, naturally, yes, I mean, you know, every fandom. See, this is the thing. This is the thing about fandom. It's the fact that there's always so much positivity in every fandom. Every fandom has a lot of positivity. But then you have always the negative. There's always going to be a little small just cesspool of just people that just want to troll, people that just want to say whatever the fuck because they're hiding behind their keyboards and everything. So there always is going to be something like that. Hey, Jason McKenzie with the $50 super chat. Love you, sir. Love you a lot. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, man. You're awesome. Cheers to you. If you have a drink in your hand, I don't have one. But, ooh, itchy nose. But anyways, going back to what I was saying. Oh, man, I feel a sneeze coming on. Come on. Where are you at? Where are you at? Okay. Sorry. It was getting there. Anyways, so there's always going to be that section. Sure. And, you know, I'm not saying that, of course, she didn't get, I guess she posted a video and she posted some things that were showing some, you know, yeah, some not so great shit. Yeah, naturally. It's just what happens. But the fact of the matter is that when the Star Wars social media decided to just like, you know, totally put it out there and put it on display and posted this right here, we are proud to welcome Moses Ingram to the Star Wars family and excited for Reva's story to unfold. If anyone intends to make her feel in any way unwelcome, we have only one thing to say. We resist. And then they followed it up. There are more than 20 million sentient species in the Star Wars galaxy. Don't choose to be a racist. And yeah, and most people aren't. Most people in the Star Wars fandom aren't. Now, this kind of reminds me a little bit of what happened in, 2016 when Ghostbusters came out. We all know how a lot of us feel about that. I was not a fan, being a Ghostbusters fan myself. I did not like the movie, but it wasn't because I hate women, you know. And I even called that then that okay, if it doesn't do well at the box office, they're gonna blame misogyny, and sure enough, they did, and they still kind of do. But, it's kind of funny. But I'm not saying, but also, when it comes to all this, I'm not saying that there wasn't shit that was said that was misogynist about that movie. Of course there is. But it's, it's a small part. When stuff like this happens and they blow it up like this, they make it seem like half the fandom are fucking piece of shit bigots. That's what's bad about this. It's like, we always talk about, when it comes to the Snyder fandom, you always have those bad apples that end up, when other people call it the Snyder cult and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, because, we got that small little sanction that it just, pieces of shit that just want to say whatever the fuck they want to say because, again, they're hiding behind their keyboards. And then it gets blown up. It gets big time blown up, and it makes it seem like it's at least half the fandom. That's just what happens. That's just what happens. You're confused, Rosemary? Well, basically, Moses Ingram, she did a video. She did a video and she talked about how she was getting racist comments. Yes. And, no doubt that she did. She showed some of them. But, one of the things that we do is we always emphasize the negative so much when there's so much positivity. And then my feeling is sometimes, that these studios and whatever, when they realize that, hey, you know, something people are not really liking, like a certain character and blah, 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 they immediately want to do some kind of social thing where it's like, oh, it's got to be because of this. She's a woman, or she's black, or she's whatever. You know, they immediately resort to that. And it's like, no. Some of us just don't fucking talk to your writers. It's not that good of a character, right? At least right now, you know? It has nothing to do with anything else. But then, of course, they put it all on blast, and now it's like, hey, you got Star Wars fans going, what the fuck, you know? But I know Star Wars fandom is pretty shitty, and they've done, you know, some shitty stuff. I mean, this goes all the way back to the Jake Lloyd thing, man. That poor kid didn't stand a chance, and that was before social media, okay? And he didn't turn out well. That sucks. Hayden Christensen got a bunch of fucking hate, too. Tons of hate. Death threats, too. Of course, they talk about death threats, which is funny because that's just a common thing when it comes to if you're in the spotlight and we're all connected to social media stuff, you're going to get those messages. I've gotten death threats, for God's sakes. I've gotten those before, you know? You get that shit because people are just fucking dumb out there. But Hayden Christensen was getting that shit, you know, before that too. But luckily, he's been redeemed this time. But I don't think, like, the Star Wars fandom is, like, full on, like, you know, like, got, like half of them are fucking bigots. I mean, I think everybody was pretty okay with, like, some of the other characters too. So it's just kind of, it's just like that weird thing. I mean, obviously you got the Geeks and Gamers guys that are totally having field day with this, naturally, because they hate everything new that's Star Wars. But they can't stop making, of course, videos about it because that's their niche. They found that niche of just like, you know, everything is woke. So, you know, you got that niche over here, and then you got this over here of the people, you know, over here that it's just like more people were commenting about how cruel the Star Wars fandom is more than actually showing the crazy messages that were being sent to her. That's what was kind of funny. And you see a lot of that stuff too. It's like you see more people just commenting and talking about the fandom as a whole pretty much about this story and doing all that more than you actually see given examples of what exactly was sent and said and what people are actually saying out there too. That's what's also weird too. It's like, all right, can we have some what exactly was being said and everything? And, you know, it's always going to be there. That's what sucks. It's always going to be there. And yes, I know it shouldn't be. It definitely shouldn't be. There's a lot of things that shouldn't be, but sometimes it just is. But what we tend to do as a people in this fucking social media society that we live in is we always focus too much on the negative, not enough on the positive. I know people that are like this, you know, when they're social media and stuff like that, and people who read comments. Hell, I've read comments. I see shit. I'll sometimes scroll through my comments. I'll see negative shit. It doesn't faze me. Doesn't. Even in my Twitter. Doesn't faze me. I'll say, you know, someone the other day, I think it was yesterday, said I'm a wanker and a dickhead or something like that because apparently I'm not doing enough for the Snyderverse, to restore Snyderverse. And all I did was go like, well, hey, buddy, you could just unfollow me. And he was like, oh, yeah, I thought I already was. I'm like, well, there you go. Problem solved. See you later. That's how I handled it. It's like, all right, he took the time to say some shit that, you know, I'm a dickhead and a wanker or whatever the fuck. And I was just like, you could just unfollow me and you don't have to see my shit anymore. Hey, you could block or mute. There's a lot of tools out there that'll help you not see that shit. So anyways, that's just my little spiel about all that. Yeah, I know it's true. I know it's true, Russ. I am a wanker and a dickhead. They knew the... Yep. Up. There you go. Somebody get rid of it. There you go. We got a bot in here, of course. Has done far. Yeah, I know. It's just the way it happens. There's just people that just want to see, just like the Joker, they just want to see the world burn. And the fact that, see, the thing that I don't like about the fact that all the Star Wars social media was putting this on blast is this is exactly what these trolling motherfuckers wanted. They wanted this. You played into their hands. That's the thing. So now, when she's probably going to get sent more vitriol shit, and whoever's going to get cast next that is a character of color is going to get blasted even more because you're just feeding the trolls by putting it on big time display like this. And it's like, no, nobody's saying going, hey, recast or anything like that. It's like, geez. But they had to jump on this probably mainly because people were just not liking the character. It's okay to not like the character. It's just talk to your fucking writers, man. That's all.